Okay. Toner Abonon. Shnai Momri Niskacho. Two people, two witnesses say a woman was married. Shnai Momri Lo Niskacho. Harezu Lo Sinose. She's not. It's a question whether she's what? She's a married woman, even though she has a cheskes penuya, right? It's a stalemate. What do you do usually when there's a stalemate? You have the chazaka, right? So the halacha is lo sinose, bim nisas, lo seitze. But if she gets married, even though the two witnesses saying that she was married, lo seitze. Okay? Because meikar din, the truth is, it's straight figure on our Torah level. The witnesses cancel one another out. So if they cancel one another out, what do? You go with the chazaka. What does chazaka say? She says she's a penuya. So she's a penuya, therefore she shouldn't get married because rabbinically it seems to be it's a stalemate. I'll tell you the way it's explained. There's a question, what are witnesses? Witnesses are supposed to offer verification. What happens if after everything's said and done, the witnesses don't verify? So the Xeris of Adim have no value. Instead, if two witnesses come and say whatever they say, and nobody contradicts them, somebody of similar status, so good. So then you go, of course, that's evidence. But what happens if it's trey? Comes out the witnesses accomplishing nothing. If they accomplish nothing, the value is nothing. So now the question is, was she married, was she not married? That's my question. The answer is, I have a chazaka. It's called cheskes penuya. If that's the case, if she gets married, lo seitze. Lechatchila lo sinose. But in nisis, tinose. Okay? The way the Shmaitz explains it, I mean the way the Shef Shmaitz explains it, what I just said, this the Reb Kiveg explains it. The way the Shmaitz explains it, there's a question, we had an argument in the first parak, if what? If cheskes ein mahani labas. If a woman herself, there's a question, who raped? Was she was raped. We don't know, did a kosher person rape her or not a kosher person rape her? And it's a 50-50. 50% of the people in town are kosher Jews, 50% are not. And now the question is, what's the status of the daughter? It says, if it's 50, she's permitted to marry a Kohen. Because she has a chazaka, that before she was permitted, she's still permitted. What about the daughter? It's a machlokus. It's machlokus. Cheskesei mahani labas, cheskesei lo mahani bas. The chazaka, the mother, does it affect the daughter as the mother can, the daughter can? Or we say no. You differentiate between the mother and daughter. How do you differentiate? Right? How do you? If the mother can marry, how can you say the daughter cannot? It's a contradiction, right? So the way he explained it is this way. What is chazaka? Chazaka is exeris hakosov. Torah says, if you're not able to resolve a question, you go after what? Status quo. Whatever the status quo was, you just continue in that context. If you say chazaka is a birur, now, why are witnesses a verification? Witnesses say some Reuven killed Shimon. You believe them. What do you believe them? Right? There's certain things which, let's say, rove, probability. That's a rational, that's logic. If the probability is overwhelming, it probably is that way, right? That has relevance to logic. But let's see testimony. Two witnesses testify, two credible, that Reuven killed Shimon. Why do you believe them? Why, Howard? So what? So what? Therefore, no. It's fact. They establish what? They establish fact, but it's verification. Why? Because the Torah says it's verification. No, because the Torah says it's not. It's not a logic. The Torah says witness test. It's like you know factually it is that way. You accept that word as fact, but it's not a svara, right? Rove is a svara, right? Probability. Even there it's not simple, but over here definitely the Torah says so. That's the same thing. Torah says if you're in doubt, you go with the chazaka. Now, what is chazaka? Is chazaka similar to testimony? Because Torah says chazaka, you deal with it as if it's been verified. It's clear beyond any doubt. Nothing happened. So if nothing happened, so the daughter has to be kosher. If we verified, it's a verification that the mother herself hasn't been defiled. So what is the daughter from that act? It's a kosher daughter. It's cheskes me'im mahani labas. The chazaka, the mother effect. What about it? Say no. Torah says it's status quo. Really, you don't know. Except Torah says until you know, you just leave it status quo. So it's not a birur. So if it's not a birur, so who has the status quo? The mother has the status quo. The daughter. So that's how we differentiate between the mother and the daughter, right? That's how they differentiate, right? No, let's say the argument's like this. When the man married her, yeah, same thing. We saw Reuven marry Rachel. They said, impossible. Rachel was in California with us. So that's the question. Did Reuven ever marry Rachel, or did he not marry Rachel? There's not an imam. It's not a witness. They're speaking about the kala. Was the kala there, or was the kala not? Not there. Right? So that's the question. So that's trey or trey. So we say, if actually, if she does get married, lo seitze.
So question, you said that sometimes if a woman says something, because she has to research it herself. And
that's rabbinic. That's all on rabbinic level. Here what they're talking about, Raisa.
So that would have no relevance.
Has no relevance to this. No relevance to this discussion. Okay? Ton Rabba, Shnaim Omrim Niskacha, Shnaim Lo Niskacha. Harei Lo Sinose. Because Trey is called Sveka Drabonon. I mean, on the Torah level, there is a chazaka. She should be able to get married, but because it's Trey, rabbinically, we don't allow it. What happens if she does get married? Right? V'nisis lo seitze, Shnaim Omrim is garsho. Now we're going the other way. She was definitely a married woman. Now, two say she was divorced. That means she's permitted to get married, remarry. Shnaim Omrim is garsho. Harezu lo sinose. She's not going to get married, right? It's Trey. V'nisis. What happens if she does get married? Now it's Tetzaveh. Why? Because what's the chazaka? If she's an Ishes Ish, of course, if she has that Tetzaveh, that's exactly the reason. Okay? Ma'ishno, Reisha Ma'ishno Seifo. Right? Why? What's the ratio? Tosis asks. Tosis asks on the Gemara's question. What's the difference between the ratio? The ratio, he says, in this the halacha is low Tetzaveh. Why in the Sefer is Tetzaveh? Tosis says, what kind of comparison is it? In the ratio of Cheskes is Penuya. In the Sefer, you have Cheskes Ishes Ish. Vim Tomar. Shno, the ratio is look b'cheskes pnui sevu cheskes eishes ish, right? I mean, it's like day and night. What kind of question is? There's no basis to the question. Norman, you had a Tosa's question. The first case is a woman, two witnesses say she was married, two say she's not married. We say if she gets married, we allow her to remain in the marriage. The other case, two witnesses say she was divorced, two say she was not divorced. It says if she gets married, the person must separate from her. So, if we allow the first case her to remain with the second husband, why in the second case don't we allow her to remain with second husband? But why do we let her remain with the second husband first case? Because what was the chazaka? The chazaka was she was an unmarried woman. The first case, two say she was married, two say she was not married. So until that point, what was she? Her status was not married. So now that it's questionable, did she ever become not married? So she remains unmarried. Second case is she definitely was married. Did she get divorced? Two say yes, two say not. So when you're in doubt, what do? You go after presumed status. What was she until that moment? Married. That's the reason why he has to divorce her. That's Tosa's question. The Shlomar, the Bereisha Avagav, the Islay Lugum Mecheskes Pnuya Kov Treu Trey, Sveka Drabonani. Yeah, it's Sveka Drabona, I told you. Yeah, Kidemuka Perak Dalar Achin, Vavalon Lemema Teitze Midrabonon. Midrabonon. Okay? So the question is really not such a strong question. Midrabonon, we say Teitze. Yeshon Kevon lo Maflik Bein Bo Eidim Achlo Nisis. Lo Eidim Mishin Nisis. Shmaminod Lav Reb Nachman Reb Yossi El Drabonon. Okay, let's go further. Omer Abaye, Tigum Abeit Echod. What's the case? It's not speaking, it's a tray or tray. Two witnesses say one. It's speaking, Eid Echod says one. The Eid Echod Omen Diskatra, Eid Echod Omen Omen Diskatra. So therefore, what's an Eid Echod, does he have any value? A single witness says, a woman was married. Right? A single witness has no value. So the Taldoch is Tarvayu, Bepnuyo, K'misadi. Both of them are speaking about, she was a single woman, she once is married, the common is katra, havalei chad, main varshal echod mokum trei, shnayim. Yeah? They're both saying she was single. Right? Two witnesses saying she was single until this moment. Now one witness says she got married. So what is it? One is saying against two. Because he himself agrees until this moment she was single. Right? Two witnesses say she was divorced. One witness says she was divorced, one witness says she was not divorced. So what are they both saying? They're both saying she was a married woman till one point. At that point, did she get a get or not? And the one who's saying this garsho, he's only a single witness, right? Same thing. Ravashi Omar. Ravashim Olam Treu Trey. Fact, you speaking about 2 and 2. So why in the ratio do we say lo seitze in the sefer teitze? Ve'epuch. Shnaim omer rinuah shniskach, shnaim omer lo rinuah shniskacho. Harezu lo sinosei. 2 say we saw she was married, and the other say, right, we didn't see her get married. You hear this? Shnaim omer rinuah shniskacho, shnaim omer lo rinuah shniskacho. Lo sinosei. And this is teitze. Pshita. It's not they said we know. They didn't say she was with us elsewhere. You know, we never heard about it. You hear this? A man hasn't seen a woman for 25 years, and 2 witnesses come, she's married. Says, but I didn't hear about it. Does that have any value? It has no halacha credibility. So that's the first question. Lo rinu ein rayo. Yeah? So, I mean, lo rinu ein rayo, there's an expression used. Somebody says, you bring a halacha. Somebody says, but how do you know it's true? Well, somebody wants to introduce the chiddush. And it's something you need proof to such a thing. He says, well, I think it's like now. Somebody said, Roinu Eino Rayo. No, just because you don't, it's novel, doesn't mean to see, right? That's not a proof that it's not. Eino Rayo. The diary, you have this case. They speak about they live in the same courtyard. So if you listen, don't you think he should have known about it? If she got married, the word will get around in the neighborhood. She lives in the neighborhood. People that get married in concealment, they don't want people, it's nobody's business. So therefore, that's the reason why we say lo seitze. The difficult, what do we say? But it says lo sinosei. We say, if this is lo teitze, if that's the case, we're saying, no, 1 second. One second. No, 1 second. No, 1 second. Rashim lo trade. Have able. Shnai moment roinu lo this guy raise lo sina. Vinisas teitze. Pshito lo rinu ein rayo lo tzricha the dar b'chotz rechma the same yemisa this catch called the islu lemil so and therefore what? And therefore it should be teitze. Kamash Malon, that it's low teitze. That's the Kamash Malon. Even though it doesn't. Low teitze. I mean, Ravashi originally said teitze. He was epuch. And the question is a good question. 1 second. No, Rashi, no. Rashi says, nevertheless, even though that's fact, but people could talk. Since word didn't get around, people would say, she looks like a married woman. She looks like she's married, right? No, therefore it's teitze. That's why it's teitze. Exactly. It's good. Because the people that get married in concealment, say for what's say? Shnaim omrim reinuashin is garsho. Shnaim omrim lo reinuashin is garsho. Harezu lo sinosei. This is lo seitze. That is a difficult one. Well, my komashmon, avagav the guy b'chotzerech hainuhach. Maudesem gabi kedushin udabi in shin mekachi bitzino. Abel gabeger shevimiso dinigar sho koli islo lemilso. That is something that you can't. The person gets divorced. That call you can't conceal, can't suppress that call. Komashmon avdi in shin mekachi megarshi bitzino. Therefore, it's lo seitze. She shouldn't get married because nobody heard about it. But if she gets married, we say, you know something? She did get the gift, right? Let's say after she got married, witnesses came afterwards. Rab Oshia Masilo Aresho. Rabbi Oven Maslo Asefo. Right? Rabbi Oshia learns this on the ratio, that that's going on, whether she's Mukudeshes, not Mukudeshes, right? That we say lo seitze. It's going in the ratio, where she has a cheskes pnuya. Somewhere says mad masla ratio koshkim asefo. 1 second. Array imishinisis boedim shoyse eshesish v'nisis al pi atzmo shomer grushani. Right? Asefo adjbei toreni v'turlinos avagad boedim shnishbis. Right. Previous. Mad masla ratio. If by Aisha she says it was speaking, she had a pesha there. When she came to Bezin, she says, "What?" She says, "I got married, and why grushani?" And then she gets married. The witnesses come and say she was married. So what should we really say? Maybe we should force her to get divorced. We say lo seitze. She could stay married. Okay. Mad masla ratio, which is this Aisha's ish. Definitely the sefer, which is what? Which is this drabonon, shvuya. Two witnesses say a woman was taken captive. She's not permitted to a kohen, right? Is that that's a drabonon? It's not a doraisa, right? So if we're saying by Eishes ish we say we permitted to remain married. Is there a chiddush? Tell me by what? It's kolshkeim, but by what? By shvuya. Rabbaushe masla reisha of merem masla sefer. Man the masla reisha kolshkeim asefer. Why did the shvuya kilu? Because shvuya definitely didn't make it. Man the masla sefer, but the one who says to say of a reisha low, right? But on the sefer, on the reisha now, because there I'm talking about what Eishes ish. Eishes ish, we say what would be? We say tetzaveh. Nusuani or grushani, right? That case. Yeah. So the Gemara says, what's the machlokes? What's the machlokes if it's going only on shvuya or it's going on even Eishes ish? You had a question. Witnesses come. She gets married. She comes to Bezdin. She has a pishos there, right? She says, we don't know if she was ever married. She says, I was married, I was divorced. So what's the halacha? You believe her. Why do you believe her? Now she gets married. Witnesses come now tell she was married. So Rav Oshia says, lo tetzaveh is going on the first case. So if it would be shvuya, it would be definitely lo tetzaveh. If he holds going on the sefer, that's shvuya. Because of shvuya kilu. But by Eishes ish, what would you say? Definitely she has to go out. Right? You say Tetzaveh Eishes ish. So what's the machlokes? Lem drav amnuna committed. Man the masla reisha is like drav amnuna. Yeah. Shvuyi kilu. B'chashosh ba'almu dika shem nivalo. Rav amnuna do amho isha omer lebaydo yushtani nemes hilko chod do omer grushani mehemna. That's the pshat. We said halacha is, let's say a man says, you're my wife, and she says, it's true, but you divorced me. Rav Amnuna says, we say, a woman doesn't have the insolence to say to husband, she's divorced or she's not divorced. Yeah. So that's the case. Even though witnesses would come, she originally said, Nesuani ugrushani. Originally it's Peshos and Peshita, now she gets married. Even witnesses come and say, she was married, she still believed. Because what is she saying? She says, I'm not married to the first man any longer. A woman normally doesn't have the chutzpah to say such a thing. Yeah, I understand. So therefore, we let her stay, right? But let's say you don't hold a Rav Amnuna. So by shvuya, which is only a chumra drabanan, that's what we say. If she got married, we allow her to remain. No, we allow her to remain married by shvuya, by the captive. But by marriage, that not. So it says, the mastil ratio is like Rav Amnuna. Therefore, lo teitze. Man the mastil seva less the Rav Amnuna. It's more low. Kol am islu Rav Amnuna. If in the presence of the husband, that's where Rav Amnuna says, woman doesn't have the arrogance to say to her husband, she will. Woman would not have the arrogance to say she's not married if she is married, even if it's not in the presence of her husband. It says if witnesses was saying if she already was married after witnesses came, and then witnesses subsequently come, we were allowed to remain married. What is if she was married? Does it mean she got a heter to be married? Or does it mean actually she got married? Because there's a big difference. If she's already married, the woman, if then we'll force him to separate, it's bad. I'll give you an example. There's certain halachas that if a woman goes to the mikveh, and after she finds a chatzitza on her body, chatzitza. She has to go to the mikveh again, right? Let's say she went home. It's not a chatzitza which says the what's his name? Definitely, it's not, right? And then she had relations with her husband, and then this question of chatzitza comes up. It's a question of chatzitza. Chatzitza means whether she found something, an adhesion on her body. So there, because over here, that means we're going to say that he cohabited with his wife when she was in Nida. Then we say, no, she should not go to the mikveh. She should not. So the same thing. What is this mishenisis lotzeiti? Does it mean that once you had a heter to get married, it's lotzeiti, or means she was actually married? She's actually married, you understand? Because that we're saying the man had relations with a neshes ish. So for a chumrah, we're not going to say that. That we say remain married. But if it's only the Bezdin gave a psak, she could get married. The Bezdin will retract it. Okay, that's the argument. Oma abu dishmor lo nisis mamish elo kev shturli nos apishul nisis. I volo seitzik tabretz is lo teitzik me'atero harishon. Right. So what's the lumdus? What's the lumdus? What's the reason? What's the rationale? Because it will be like a zusa de beidina. If Bezdin gives a psak that something's mutter, and then afterwards you undo the psak, it doesn't reflect well on Bezdin. It shows the Bezdin doesn't know what they're doing. So therefore, once the psak is in, we leave it in. Right? Once the verdict is given. A woman says, I was taken captive, but I was not defiled by the goyim. Right? A non-Jew rapes the woman, she's defiled. Yeah? And she says, and I have witnesses to prove that I was not defiled. We just say, well, let her bring the evidence. Let her bring the evidence, and then we'll let her get married to a Kohen. Miyad. Yeah? We allowed her, and she says, we don't know anything about it. She said, I've witnessed, then the witness who she identifies, we don't know anything about it. What's that? Why? What's the reason? Because truthfully, she doesn't need aid, in period. If she would say, because she introduced the whole story. There's a parshas beshita. She said, by the way, I said the question, does it reflect negatively on her that she definitely lied? Doesn't. She only said it to only give her position a stronger position. But factually, she didn't need it. Then bo Edi Tuma. Right? What about if Edi Tuma showed up? Witnesses came, she definitely was defiled by the goyim. Even if she has many children, it's poshut. She's married to a Kohen. She's not allowed to be with the man. But all the kids are going to be chalolim. Doesn't make a difference. She's living with him in sin. Hani shuyoso da'asyon l'nerdo. There were a bunch of captive women came to Nerdo, and the goyim who captive, they would bring him and they would ransom to the Jewish community. Ausiv avud Shmuel neturi badayu. 1 second. Oh, yeah. Ausiv avud Shmuel neturi badayu, because they were afraid that somebody else would rape them. Where is it? Shlo yevo lifnei bezdin v'lo yodu bezdin shem shvuyos al pi atzmin v'yatirum. 1 second. 1 second. Levdosam okminu lashvui avroi. Yeah. Shlo yevo lifnei bezdin v'lo yodu bezdin shem shvuyos elo al pi atzmin v'yatirum. Hanishu is the Asila no. Aisha avoid the Shmuel Neturi Abadai. Omele Shmuel Adhid no man Netrinu. Who put the watchman there? They had watchmen watching them. That they shouldn't be defiled. So Shmuel says, until now, who watched them? Right? Who watched them? I mean, with the goyim still. Omale ilu banta chavyo. Me havas mizalzabukul hai. Said he said to Shmuel, if it would be your daughters, you wouldn't have somebody watching them that the goyim shouldn't defile them. Right? Avud Shmuel, 1 second. Shmuel's father put what's his name's there to watch them. So Shmuel said to his father, and until now, who would watch them? So Shmuel's father said to him, and if it would be your daughters, you wouldn't have somebody watch them, that they shouldn't be defiled? Right? Because Shmuel's father was a tzaddik, Avud Shmuel. It was like the king gave. It's like the word left the mouth of the shalit, of the ruler. V'shtabim banti dimar Shmuel. What happened? The daughters of Shmuel were taken captive by goyim. Vaskinu l'ardi Yisrael. Ukmin l'shvuyayu me'avroi. Ba'ilabei medrosha. The Reb Chanina. His daughters were taken captive, and they brought him to Eretz Yisrael, and they brought him to the Beis Medrash of Reb Chanina, and they kept him outside. They didn't bring him into the Beis Medrash. Yeah, but they kept the captives, so they shouldn't know. They shouldn't know that they were captured. So she says to Reb Chanina, to the Bezdin, I was a captive, but I wasn't defiled. Sharinu. And then, so what? They were Talmud Chachamim, Shmuel's daughters. They were smart because they understood they wanted to have a pesha heat there. So once they gave the psak, what do we say? Once the psak comes in, then you don't undo the psak. So if all osi shviyanu. So he says, then all of a sudden the captives came in. Omer Reb Chanina benan demorian inu. He says, I see the children of somebody who's a posek. Shmuel was their father. Igloi milsa, the banti, the mar Shmuel avian. Right? It turned out that Reb Chanina picked up these were smart women. They weren't simple women because they did it according to the halacha. They got the psak, so now that they show up now, the captors, right? It didn't make a difference. Omalei Reb Chanina le Reb Shaman, Rabba Puk itfu bekrov v'yisech. So he says to Reb Shaman, go deal with your relatives. Omalei Reb Chanina v'ike edim dinas hayom. Reb Chanina said to Reb Shaman bar Abba, Puk itfu bekrov v'yisech. So achs man she krov v'yisech. Yeah. He's a Kohen. Omar leid Reb Chanina, he says, Vayika Edom Disayom, but maybe the witnesses in the two witnesses who know that they were defiled. He says, Hashtem Yus, let's still come and Edim. Betzariston, Titzi. He says, what are you worried about? You're worried that maybe witnesses in the north, and what, they're going to be forbidden? Time at Lo Osu Edim. It seems to be, because they know with Osu Edim, Mitzvah, but it seems to be, even though they had a psak that they were not defiled in Bo Edim, it's what's the halacha Yetzu. What is he saying? What did Reb Chanina say to him? He says, but maybe the witnesses. So he says, but if the halacha is even if witnesses come later after you're married, you don't have to leave. What are you worried about? It's a chumrah. So it's a chumrah is only in place if you don't marry them. But if you got married, what are you worried about? No, so that's the question. That's it's not that you're going to have witnesses that they would think that they were 80 tuma, that they definitely were defiled. Only that they were taken captive. Right. Even though it's difficult. Because we said earlier, if the captives were standing outside, they came in afterwards. So they saw they were captives. Reb Chanina saw they were captives. Wouldn't be 80 tumah. 80 tumah means that 80 will say that they actually had relations with them. Then you can't. Then everybody agrees it's Tetzaveh. Right. That means she's not fit for a Kohen. She's definitely a zona. Yeah, no. You understand? B'shvuya ikilu means there's a certain chumrah. Even though there's a cheskes kashrus, a woman, even she's taken captive by a goy, and we're machmid rabbanan, we see her, she was raped by the goy, but if she gets married, we're not going to force the man to divorce her if she was already married. What if witnesses come and say she was raped by the goy? Defiled, not a question. She's married to a goy. Does the goy have to divorce? Of course. She's a zona. So that's the question. That's what he's saying. What he was worried was that what would be if there were witnesses, and the witnesses would come and say that she was nitma, that she was defiled. Then Reb Chanina has a problem. So that's what Reb Chanina said. Reb Chanina says, I'm not worried, maybe the witnesses that she was taken captive. If witnesses come that she was taken captive, but if witnesses come and say she was raped by the goy, everybody agrees it's Tetzaveh. Right? You can't. She's a zona. He can't stay with her. No, they did a smart thing. But Reb Chanina was still worried. What would be if, what's his name? Witness should show. Right. He has a right to be machmir. Okay. If she gets married, witnesses should come, she was taken captive, definitely, the husband doesn't have to divorce her. But if witnesses will come and say she was raped by the goy, we saw she was actually raped, then it's a problem. So Reb Chanina says, I don't want to get involved. That's what Reb Chanina didn't want to marry. Not Reb Chanina, the cousin. right? The relative. Yeah. Shama Barabba. Okay, to be continued.